All right, boys, we're here at Jimmy's Machine Shop, 179 Lockwood. I know a lot of you guys always ask me, where can I get some machine work done? And Jimmy's the man. He's been here for years. How long you been here, Jimmy?
I've been doing it 47 years.
47 years. I love that number, 47. 47 years, but how long you been in this location?
This building 20.
20 years. Yeah. So 20 years he's been here, man. He takes care of everything. He bore, hones, assembles, and the cylinder head's done, right?
Yes.
Let's check it out. I got you. So this is Maddie's cylinder head right here. So what did you end up doing to this thing?
Okay, we cleaned it, of course, checked it out. We didn't have to mill it because it didn't need any milling.
Perfect.
Did a carbon valve, new valves, installed the seals, did the springs and the spring heights.
Okay.
Okay, it's all set, ready for you to install it. You got to put the cams on.
Perfect.
Okay. Can also be available 3-angle valve if you want. Or
okay.
It depends on what
okay.
job you want.
Sweet. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your hard work. The cylinder head looks great. Maddie's going to be really happy, and I can't wait to install it. So if anyone needs you, they just call.
Just call.
Yeah, don't go on your Facebook. You're not really good with the messaging. Call Jimmy's. I'll leave the phone number and the address in the description, and you guys can call him, drop off your stuff, and he'll quote you. He's a very fair man, and he works at a good, fast rate, too. Thank you, Jimmy.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Yep. All right, guys. So. Okay, boys. Welcome back, Gunners. We are putting Maddie's motor together. This has been highly anticipated. A lot of people said, "Are you going to do the assembly?" So I'm just literally off the plane from California. I landed in last night and got straight to the garage. It is currently about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we are about to start putting Maddie's motor together. Now, we're doing a K20 straight build, and we're just adding head studs. We did an oil pump conversion, basically. You could call that a replacement. We're changing up some of the OEM stuff, and yeah, that's basically it, man. I hope you're getting ready to learn. Grab your tools, get ready. Part numbers, I'll try my best to share. So, yeah, let's start gunning. Okay, so first thing I'm doing now is I already put these studs in. I was just a little bored. Man, this hoodie looks young on here. Or I look. What? How bodybuilders used to do it, Vic? When they used to come back with the back pose? What? Alright. So, ARP head studs, just regular K21s. Bottom of the stud, we're putting some lubricant, assembly lube, right at the tip of it. Pause. So, right about here. And we're going to let that drive into the threads, right? So, we'll go here. Thread it in by hand. If we start to feel any kind of notchiness, then we'll just back out a little bit and then just clean that up. I sprayed some brake cleaner in there, shot some air out, tried to clean whatever old residue was inside these slots, these holes, cylinder, block, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. So, is there a torque spec for this? I'm pretty sure there is. I don't use it. I just go hand tight. So I drive it in as much as I can by hand, and then I grab my Allen head, and that's it. Vicky paused in the back. So we'll do the same thing with the rest of these. We'll put these studs in, and we'll tighten them up. But we always put the assembly lube at the tip of it, right about there. Pause, Vic. Pause. Okay, so dowel pins. You got 2 of them. They always face the intake side. So wherever your water pump is, 2 dowel pins go on each end. Just push those in down nice and easily. Finish. Now we are ready for the head gasket. Head gasket is simple. The silver part, which is not all black, always faces down. So you have these water jackets that you'll be able to line everything up with. So that's that. Now we're not banging anything, we're just letting that sit nice and neat. So now our head gasket's on. We'll inspect here a little bit further, and then we'll put the cylinder head on. Okay, Trappy's gonna pass the cylinder head. Very easy. This K-Series stuff is super light. Try not to scratch the surface of the head. So try to line it up in one shot. Get your dowels in lined up. Sometimes you might need a rubber mallet, sometimes you don't. In this case you don't. Slaps right on. Big difference here. Maddie should have cleaned this, but it ain't my job. And yeah. So we will we'll put in our washers first. We'll lubricate them with the assembly lube, and then we'll put our head studs on, and I'll show you how to torque it. Okay, so now with these washers here, I just put a little assembly lube on my glove, and on both sides, I just rub both sides. Fairly easy. Push those guys down into there. Done. Now I've got some left here. Same thing. We just don't want any metal on metal binding. So all our washers are in. So now when we get to our nut, I'm going to take a little bit here. Put it right here at the thread. And then let me go get my socket to make this easy. Be right back. So 1/2 inch 12 point. All set there. Same thing. We're just going to lube up the threads on it. So we have nothing that's going to strip or bind. Thread that on. I'll grab the gun later and just draw them down a little bit before torquing. So most likely we're going to torque this cylinder head to about 90 pounds. So same, like I said, you take your 12 point nut here, a little bit of lube inside the thread like yonder. Grab your socket, flip it, and then down. Thread as much by hand as possible. Thread as much by hand as possible. Alright, so I'm behind the camera now to kind of give you guys a narration on how this is going to go. So Trappy, we let it sit at 60 pounds. So Trappy has it at 90, and he's going to go into the sequence. Go ahead. It's going to be tough to hold it at 90 pounds, so we have Big Vicky then. That's 90. Sweet. One motion. There it is, 90. Don't try to skip. Just try to go in one motion. So you tighten the first time as much as you can, and then the second time should be 90. Money. So you follow that sequence. You torque all the way around to about 90 pounds. Some people go to 100, but we kept this one at 90. But that's it. We're gearing up to finish up this motor. So Maddie bought a new water pipe here because his was all rusted out. So using a 22 millimeter wrench, and it comes with like a thread seal on it. So we're just putting that down until we hit the stop. Our head is all torqued up. We're just letting that settle a little bit before we start assembling it. And that's it. We are grooving along. Like I said, Maddie brought almost everything brand new. All the seals, all the gaskets, everything that we needed. So we're cleaning up the motion sensors, the motion springs, whatever you want to call them. Lost motion sensors, is that what they call it? Lost motion. Cleaning those up. And we'll move right along. Okay, so motion springs are going in. Simply push those down. That's it. Got a bunch of OEM stuff here. All from Honda, all new gaskets, like I said, chain, tensioner. We're going to put all that together. Oh, hit the stand. Again, hit the stand. So, Drag Cartel 2.2s. Now we're putting on our VTC and our cam signal. So, just pause on this whole pause. This looks crazy. Pause. Taking off the protection. Going raw dog. Going raw dog. All right, so what do we got here? We have exhaust. Let me get that exhaust cam. It goes on yonder. Yeah. So we'll put this in first to where this dowel lines up. Perfect. Money. Keep a little lube on there so everything can go smooth. I didn't wipe off any of the old oil because, like I said, I'm just using it as lubricant. So this is not reverse thread. Most people think that this is reverse thread. It's not. It's the same as Merc. So that's there. We have our cam gear. So we are just setting up stuff. Remember, the dowel goes into here. And that's it. I don't know the torque spec on this, so most likely I'll just text Matt Monday and he'll tell me the torque spec, but we're definitely torquing both ends. And these some beautiful looking cams. Rocker assembly is on. We checked every spring inside. We made sure that nothing is out of whack, nothing is out of the ordinary. All our springs, all our caps are accounted for. What I like to do is I use this assembly lube. I get this from AutoZone. It's very simple. We just don't want any metal to metal binding. So when we start turning on the motor, which is probably the most strenuous part about any motor, is actually turning it on. We just want it to have enough lubrication. So we just take some assembly lube, we run that across here, across where the cams would sit and the rocker assembly. And we want to be a little generous with it. And that's there. Okay? So I have my cam here. This is intake. We're just going to sit that there in a neutral position. That's it. We're not pressing down yet because we have some tension on the spring. So we are just sitting the cams into the cylinder head. That's it. We'll move on to putting the cam caps on, and I'll show you guys how to torque that and keep going. Okay, so cam caps, like I always tell you guys, the arrows always face the cam gear. So we are at number 5 and we're looking at number 5. We just place that in there, done. Okay, arrows always face the cam gears. It shouldn't be upside down, facing this way, one facing that way. This is very, very crucial. Take your time, man. Everyone should be taking their time during assembly. This is probably the best time to put a little music on, not too loud, so you can stay focused, and that's it. So 3 facing this way, and obviously we continue the pattern. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm putting on my cam caps, and I'm putting on the bolts. You might run into this problem right here. See that, how that's not going down? So what you do is, you just take a Phillip head, because you're trying to straighten out the cam cap, and you'll feel the screwdriver go down to where it's locked in place, and you can start threading. Let's see if that happens again. Good. It's just shifting the assembly over to where it needs to be. And now these obviously go in threaded by hand. We'll worry about torquing later, but we're making sure as we're putting these in that we are threading. We are threading. So torquing down the cam caps, super simple. 16 foot-pounds on the 12 millimeters, and you're going to about 10 foot-pounds on that 110 mil that's in the middle. We went into the sequence of in and out. So 16 foot-pounds on the cam caps, and we're almost done.